Lance Leipold has Kansas in the top 25. I don't know what Mike Gundy said to Ollie Gordon this offseason. We got to talk about that. And we've got multiple coaches throwing their players under the bus. All of that and everything else I'm buying and selling from Week 9 in college football right after the stinger. It's Felix Sharp at Sharp Review on Twitter for CampusToCanton.com. If you like this video, and I think that you do, you're a college football fan, you want to help us grow this channel and grow college fantasy football, then go ahead, drop a like on this video. Can we get to, 50? Is that attainable if you want to help us grow? And if you don't know what we're doing at CampusToCanton.com, I think you should check out the website. We're playing a format of fantasy football with your favorite college players. So you can have a full college team and a full NFL team. And when your players declare for the NFL draft, they're added to your NFL team. So you can go ahead and roster Devin Neal and Dylan Gabriel and any of your favorite players. Go ahead and check out CampusToCanton.com for rankings, tools, depth charts. I mean, if you haven't checked out the website, you need to go ahead and check it out. All right, let's talk about everything I'm buying and selling from Week 9 in college football. How about we start here? Tawee Walker, wearing number 29 at OU at 5'9", 220-ish, somewhere around there. He looks like another former OU running back who kind of had a similar running style, maybe a little bit more nimble. But the funny thing about Tawee Walker is I'm looking up his background. He's from Las Vegas, the same area that Ramondre Stevenson is from. So the similarities are there. 23 carries, 146 yards, 1 touchdown for the JUCO transfer. I really like what I'm seeing from Tawee Walker. I would bet that he's on the waiver wire in a lot of places. I would consider picking him up. Here's another potential similarity, is if you remember that last season for Ramondre Stevenson, he was suspended at the beginning of the season because what had happened in the bowl game the year prior, and then he really turned it on once he got on the field to end the season and just kind of ended the season with a bang. Tawee Walker is starting to get going. I could see him being the primary guy for OU down the stretch. I would pick him. I would pick him up. I mean, he looks really good as an interior runner. Doesn't have the hands that Ramondre Stevenson does, but you got to blink twice when you see that number 29 down there on the field for OU. I'm also buying Kevin Concepcion at NC State. This wide receiver is the man, and if you didn't know that before, you should know now. 5 receptions of 83 yards, 2 carries for 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's got 42 receptions, 493 yards on the season. He leads Power 5 freshmen in receiving yards. They're lining him up all over the place. They're lining him up in the slot. They're lining him up in the backfield. He caught one of his touchdowns against zero coverage. He breaks a tackle from the outside and runs for a touchdown. Man, I mean, if you're playing in our format and you have this guy, just hold on to him because you never know what could happen. I can tell you one thing, though. Robert Anae is a great offensive coordinator. We saw it with Brennan Armstrong a couple of years ago. We saw it at Syracuse last year, really putting a spark in that offense. I want to have Robert Anae's number one guy, and it's this freshman, Kevin Concepcion, Kevin K.C. Concepcion. He's my wide receiver 26 at CampusToCanton.com if you want to check out my rankings. Let's go to Lance Leipold here. I am buying him as a program builder. I mean, you have to. Wisconsin Whitewater, Buffalo, and now Kansas. He has them 6-2, and they played Kansas tough 2 years ago when they went, what? They only won 2 games. Remember when they opened the stadium? It was I think Caleb Williams got benched in that game, and they played Spencer Rattler. They opened the stadium up for anybody to come in because they were about to get an upset. Lance Leipold is a program builder. He is a program builder, and you think about Kansas, it is a basketball school. It's a basketball school, and Devin Neal, notwithstanding, who's from there in Lawrence, Kansas, you can't, there's now football players in Kansas. You got to recruit Oklahoma, Texas, California. You can't recruit football players in Kansas to be competitive. You have to get out there. So Lance Leipold, hats off to him. They're 6-2 on the season, number 22 in the AP poll. I am buying Lance Leipold. If I was, Michigan State, I would say, hey, you did that thing at Wisconsin Whitewater. Can you do it here in East Lansing? I would talk to Lance Leipold's agent if I was an athletic director at Michigan State. Oh, Lance Leipold, I'm still not over the fact that you didn't let Jared Patterson break the single-game rushing record. What was that? I don't know, 4 years ago? He came, like 13 yards away, breaking Samaje Perine's record. Still a little bit bitter about that because I wanted to see that. I am buying Xavier Worthy as a day 1 or day 2 NFL draft pick. I think everybody is, but that dude, I'm selling his hands as being consistent. He struggles with consistency catching the ball, especially when it involves contact where he's contacted. He's just super inconsistent. He has trouble making some of the tough catches, but some of these speed threats do. They tend to, my comp for Xavier Worthy is Hollywood Brown. Some of these speed guys, they just don't have the most consistent hands. Still a great player, going to be a day 1 or day 2 NFL draft pick. I'm buying that. What if he would have stayed at Michigan? What if we would have stayed at Michigan? We're not going to talk about the rumors about why he allegedly left Michigan. Some of the rumors, not going to talk about that. If you know, you can let me know in the comments. Y'all can talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about why he left Michigan. I'm buying Jonathan Brooks. Speaking of, I'm buying Jonathan Brooks as potentially the RB2 in this upcoming draft class. He's gotten 1 year as a starter after Roschon Johnson and Bijan Robinson left. He's looked absolutely phenomenal. This weekend against BYU, they kind of really had to rely on him and the running game. 16 carries, 98 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 4 receptions for 40 yards. The running back position is down overall, but especially that class. Travion Henderson has been injured. Raheem Sanders has been injured. And so there's been a lot of shakeup there. Who are the guys at the top? I think Braylon Allen's going to go number 1. I can see Jonathan Brooks being right there with Audric Estime come April, hearing their names called for at least for the running back position. Jonathan Brooks, another guy that you probably could have gotten off the waiver wire in your Campus to Canton leagues. I hope you're playing. Go ahead and check out the website, campustocanton.com. But yeah, Jonathan Brooks is right there. Can Mike Gundy whisper to me whatever he was saying to Ollie Gordon, both privately and publicly this offseason? Because Mike Gundy was dogging Ollie Gordon. And if I know football coaches, they don't dog a player unless they have very high expectations for that player. So my ears kind of perk up when they start dogging a player publicly, for the most part. And that's what Mike Gundy did with Ollie Gordon this year. He has back-to-back games with over 270 yards rushing. I don't know who does that. Let me know in the comments if you know of a player who has gone back-to-back games with over 270 yards rushing. He's up to my RB8 in my rankings over at campustocanton.com. Oklahoma State 6-2 headed into Bedlam on Saturday. That's going to be a great game. Ollie Gordon is going to get a national stage. Can he do it again? I wonder what on Prize Picks what his rushing yards line is going to be. It's got to be like 175 or something like that. And are you going to take the over or on the under? I'm going to check that after I get done with this video. I'm definitely going to check that. But Ollie Gordon having an explosive breakout season here in his second season. I tell you what I'm selling. I am selling this play from Canada that's been circulating around where they throw the screen and the guy kicks it over the line of scrimmage and then recovers it like it's a fumble. What is that? If I was president, the first thing I would do with that nonsense, we're withdrawing from NAFTA. I'm sorry, Canada. You've butchered our sport to do whatever the heck you call that. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't want to know. I don't care. Canada, you're fired. You're done. It's over. I'm selling Alex Grinch being the defensive coordinator at USC next year. I think a lot of people are. You look at 49-50 Cal. Come on, man. You get 49. You're giving up 49 as a tight game to Cal. It's just not there. He's not the guy. I have an idea who I would think would be a great fit there for USC, who has a history in California. I don't want to say the name, but maybe you can come back to California and coach that defense next year. I don't think it's going to be Alex Grinch. And if he, at this point, you have to have an athletic director step in and say, all right, Lincoln, you got the offense. We're going to decide to go another way here defensively. We got to do something else. I don't think Alex Grinch is going to be there next year. And of course, I am selling coaches throwing players under the bus. We saw Pat Narduzzi do it. We saw Deion Sanders do it, with Deion saying that We got to get new offensive linemen. We're going to get new offensive linemen. To that tomorrow, when? There is such an power imbalance when a coach. Now I know I just credited Mike Gundy here for calling out Ollie Gordon. This is different, and it is different. You know when it's different because these are offensive linemen who are playing bad, giving up a lot of sacks, and Deion is just using his platform, his stage, to bash them. I actually met the father of the right tackle at the Colorado game when I went to the Nebraska game at Colorado. I just feel bad for those guys. They're throwing, again, a power imbalance, throwing them under the bus in the public way that he's doing. You still need these players. You still got the game the rest of the season. You're trying to become bowl eligible. Are you going to get new offensive linemen tomorrow, or do you still have to depend on those guys for your next game? You still got to depend on them. So that is not the way I would go about doing it. Sure, you're going to go to the transfer portal or whatever. By the way, the transfer portal, very difficult to recruit offensive linemen into the transfer portal. It gives me an ucky feeling. Of course, Pat Narduzzi, neither one of these guys have an excuse. Pat Narduzzi saying that, we had some good players. We thought we were going to replace them with players, but I guess we don't have them. Pat, you've been the head coach there since you left Michigan State, coaching that outstanding defense. These are the guys you recruited. It's your fault. It's your fault. And of course, some of these Pitt players quote tweeted and said, okay. I don't know. Coaches being emotional after the game, lashing out. I think if you actually thought about it, you would see that that's detrimental in the long term. There's no way that benefits you in the long term or for the rest of the season. Even if you plan to get rid of those players, what does it benefit you by really stepping on them while they're down? It doesn't at all. That's all I'm buying and selling for week 9 in college football. Let me know your thoughts on everything I had to say. Deion, Pat Narduzzi, what do you think about them? And go ahead and check out the website. Hey, help me get to, I don't know what I said before, 50, 25. Let's get to 50 likes, all right, y'all? Peace.